here with Cody Sun, because this team, when they first came into the LCS, found great success around protecting Cody Sun. You know, the second place finish for them right out of the gates, back before they let Meteos and Cody Sun go, you know, in the first round. And they're going to try and return to those roots here with the kog'maw. Bard locked in as the final mystery pick there for Cloud9. Vulcan once again gets to roam around the map.
Now, the one thing that I am worried about here, 400 Thieves, is remember that both of these carries, the Syndra and the kog'maw, completely immobile, sans flash. So if at any point the Unbreakable gets baited out from Stunt and he's not able to block the ulti from Licorice, it is very easy for Cloud9 to engage on these carries from range with that incredibly powerful ultimate. I'm also looking at Ssumday here on the Aatrox, on this champion that you expect to win in that 1v1 against Ornn. A lot of people around our all-pro voting. So for anybody out there who doesn't know, all of Cloud9's team got ranked for the #1 all LCS team for regular split play. Ssumday got #2 for top laners. And there's some controversy around this. There's a lot of people on Twitter saying Ssumday got robbed, and there's a lot of people saying in your dreams, Licorice obviously deserves this. Well, last game, all the Ssumday got robbed people had no land to stand on. Licorice solo killed him at level 4 as Ornn by bonking him. That's not...
By bonking him.
You got no money to get robbed when you get bonked. And so this game, I want to see Ssumday step up. Say, yeah, I should have been #1 and flex those Aatrox muscles.
I cast my vote for Ssumday as #1, but I had Licorice there #2 as well. I really liked what we were touching on, though, because you're already starting to theory craft later into the game and some of the team fights. With the Bard pick, you can actually Bard ult the Braum to allow Licorice to have free reign with the Ornn ultimate, or you can easily Bard ultimate the low mobility kog'maw and Syndra. As we have a level 1 invade, though, we can wait to get to the end game until we're actually there.
We got some spice in the draft. We got some spice in the level 1. I am enjoying game 2 here so far, my friend, but Meteos is not, as he is going to be forced away from this invade that they attempted as a 2v2. 100 Thieves have to back out from that one, so it will set Meteos a little bit behind.
And it's going to be really hard, like I was kind of talking about in Champion Select, for Trundle to bring stability to the lanes for 100 Thieves when you are facing this Kindred matchup. Blaber with red buff, that's all you need to have full priority over the Trundle in the early game, and you see him already utilizing it to the fullest. This is another game of Blaber taking an advantageous jungle matchup and pressuring Meteos with it. Last time, the Nocturne into Sejuani. This time, Kindred immediately red to red, taking any possible threat away.
Blaber is so fun to watch, man. I really just enjoy watching this guy jungle because of the way that he likes to get aggressive. This isn't none of that. I can't remember the word. It's people use it to describe leaf-eating dinosaurs, but I'm gonna just say vegetarian
herbivore,
jungle.
my friend.
Yeah, that's it. It's not vegetarian jungle. It's herbivore. This is none of that herbivore jungling, man. This is carnivorous. This is eating people alive. This is stealing buffs and flexing your muscles on people. I love to see that kind of jungling. And Blaber just has done so much of it this whole split. He's always fun to watch in the jungle.
I would like a Captain Flowers description of words, the Captain Flowers dictionary, actually, for the alternate explanations. We'll get one of those out to you shortly.
It's not that different. Vegetarian, herbivore, it both means you'd rather eat plants than stuff that was at one point alive.
I like it. The leaf-eating dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, Licorice is once again doing just fine here in this top side, but Meteos wants to shut that down nice and early. Meteos does back away from the pillar, but he takes a couple of auto attacks. Meteos, however, eats a turret shot there on the back end of the trade, and it doesn't honestly go too bad for C9.
Yeah, honestly, it's going great for Cloud9. And I want to call back to the early game of last game where I mentioned Blaber and his pathing. Once again, if you look at the map in the camps, he's able to not only red to red, but also double crab, the dreaded double crab you talked about.
No.
Turns out one of them also, he's able to get the mark off of that because of the gank top. Vulcan flashes in with the ignite.
Stunt and Cody Sun just not having a good time here in this bottom lane. Cody's done a good job so far of staying even on farm with his opponent, but when you compare where the health bars are here in this lane, it does mean Cody's going to lose a little bit of that closeness here as the wave will start to collide with the turret. Vulcan and Zven making sure they push this one up as far as possible. Meteos is going to move into bottom lane to try to delay that and keep as many of these minions as possible away from the turret to ensure that Cody doesn't lose more than what is absolutely necessary. But Zven and Vulcan are able to grab that first plate, and they'll go home happy.
Yeah, the best 100 Thieves can hope for is to have Meteos pick up the gold that's just dying into the ground right there until Cody Sun gets back. He does that, but it really does feel like they're just picking up scraps right now in the game. Blaber now can reverse clear back up to top side, and he's already got his skirmishing saber as well. Really just makes it very easy for him to continually go deeper into 100 Thieves jungle and keep up the vision and the wards. And you can see right now, he can even go take these Gromp marks, which are very rare for Kindred to be able to take this early into the game, to have this much agency. See if he gets punished on the way out, though. Not gonna be the case.
Okay, so he takes the blast cone and just blinds himself right into Ssumday. Finds a very poor trade against his top lane opponent here, and now jumps right back into the fight even further. He Qs forward, gets hit by the Infernal Chains. He will be taken down below 300 HP, but considering Ssumday was in a 1v2, he couldn't actually threaten the kill, and his control ward is cleared away. Nisqy, once again, going to find a trouble bubble there. On to Ryoma in the mid lane, follows it up with a paddle star to win the trade.
So during that, they do get the mark for Blaber. Ssumday's pissed about it, though.
Yeah, Ssumday's not happy here. And he is just trying to run Blaber down in the jungle. Q3 onto the remaining Krugs there in the camp to get a little bit of something from that. As Licorice flashes up the wall, slams his head right into the bricks on the edge of the red buff. And that is first blood over to C9. Ssumday's bloodlust ends up getting punished.
Looks like Blaber is able to get inside his head there, living rent-free. Ssumday went for the invade while his team was taking Dragon. We didn't really mention it because it was easily seen on the mini-map, but Meteos made the call since, okay, Blaber's topside getting the mark, I'll take Dragon. And you see right now, 100 Thieves have gotten the Dragon, but Ssumday's so deep in the weak side of the map. This is the weak side. Their whole team for 100 Thieves is on Dragon, taking the objective. And Ssumday is going to trade flashes with Blaber, but this is the weak side. There's 3 members of Cloud9 here. They clean up the first blood kill.
You know, I've been in that situation a lot of times in the past.
Tilted? Yeah, I have heard it.
In my games, sometimes I'll be like, oh, this guy, he thinks he's so good, I'm going to go teach him what for. And then you get collapsed on by 3 dudes. And if it's a mistake that I would make, it's not a mistake that I would expect Ssumday to make. So I can't do anything but chalk that one up to tilt. So hopefully he's able to shake it off, get the mental back where it needs to be, because 100 Thieves are going to need him moving forward here in this game. Already down 1,500 gold despite only having 1 kill on the board, and that means a lot of leads in plates and in farm and in Cody and Stunt's world. Things go from bad to worse. It is 2 kills for nada, zilch, 0, nothing, and Cloud9 just continues building this lead.
Yep, C9 remain on the attack. 4 members bottom. They use the teleport from Licorice just for good measure. Every time that C9 make a move, Meteos tries to get the objective on the other half of the map. And that is going to be a Rift Trail. He should be able to pick it up. It is, again, though, kind of just picking up the only options left them at this moment. As you can see, more plates taken off the bottom half of the map. So, Licorice is actually going to stay down there, and C9 will just swap their duo up to the top side.
I have just been updated by a producer that this is the largest gold difference this split that we have seen at this point in time. This, of course, includes all other Cloud9 games. Now, most of the time when you're competing for gold differences, it's Cloud9 competing against themselves.
Personal best.
But, yeah, it's like a racing game where you're not really racing against anybody else. You're racing against your own best time on the track. And, well, when Cloud9's able to beat even their own best time, 100 Thieves have got to be concerned about how quickly this game is spiraling out of control.
Yeah, right now they're going for the reset. They pulled Ssumday down bottom side along with the rest of the team, so maybe 100 Thieves are just going to trade. And I like this. Once again, we talked about last game where you are not strong enough to actually fight them on any objectives, so try and trade just by overloading one side of the map. Even with 4 members here, though, Licorice goes in. They chunk down Stunt.
Stunt uses the Unbreakable and then still has to flash away to keep himself alive. Licorice is still a level 8 Ornn. It's still a level 1 ultimate. It means it is not yet off cooldown from the previous usage in the bottom lane dive, so there's no follow-up there to try to punish 100 Thieves after the Unbreakable is down. C9 will just take their success at defending all their plates, keeping everybody alive, and grabbing the Summoner spell out of the enemy support and walk away, because meanwhile, Zven has free firing time on this top lane tier 1 turret, and he's collecting all sorts of money.
Yeah, the theory is, okay, 100 Thieves can't fight on objectives, so they're going to go for the numbers advantage, overload bottom part of the map with an extra player, and just leave Zven to take top side and try and trade it for bottom. But Cloud9 say, no deal, and they just defend it, one person down. Easy knock up there for Licorice. They get a big chunk onto Stunt. They put a stop to 100 Thieves' attempt at bringing some sort of normalcy into the game for themselves, and Cloud9 will barrel ahead just as planned. Licorice pushes it right back at them, and they'll be the ones taking plates on bottom.
Man, you talking about no deal and normalcy. You reminded me of Game Show Week, back when we all actually got to hang out in the same building. You're giving me, I'm getting real sad boy vibes now. I just want to go back to them days as Cloud9 will continue finding their opportunities to punish their opponents here on the top side, or is it going to be Zven who's caught out? He's almost taken down, but Cody instead, the one under pressure. Vulcan managing to find the stasis there with the ulti, flashing forward. Nisqy's able to grab the damage, and now we'll see if C9 can get themselves away. Cody won't find anything with the Acathian surprise, as Nisqy keeps himself safe from the follow-up damage. Ryoma tries to get one in return. The CC comes through, but it's not going to grab a lot. Vulcan may be overextended now. Drake is going to be taken by Blaber there on the other end of the map, but Meteos is able to finally grab a kill here for 100 Thieves on the top side. Nisqy looking to chase even further. Good God!
2-for-1 deal.
At the very end of the paddle star. Buy one, get one free. Triple kill for Nisqy. Throw another one in the shopping cart just because he likes the way he makes it happen. This man is on fire.
Yeah, why not? Throw another one in there. Let's stock up. Nisqy here. Let's take a look at how this actually unfolded, because Cody Sun, most will have flash there. They try and finish off Zven, but Vulcan is able to get in range. He gets the Guardian off of the heal that he put under Zven, keeps him alive. Then he's able to flash in, gets the counter kill there. They take down Cody Sun, even though 100 Thieves bring another member to this. You know how it turns out, as Nisqy, he actually likes the deals that he's seeing on Summoner's Rift today.
Cody Sun just lost.
Everything must go. Free, free, free.
Free, free, free. Get your wacky waving inflatable arm flailing 2-man out, because Nisqy is not stopping bargains like these anytime soon, my friend. He is just
throw another one in the cart.
The entirety of 100 Thieves. You know what this is? Did you ever watch those shows on like Nickelodeon when you were younger, where kids would enter into a sweepstakes and they got to run through a toy store, just throw everything they wanted into the shopping cart? Nisqy is the kid, and everybody on 100 Thieves is a Lego set and a Nerf gun and a basketball, and they're all just getting thrown in the cart, and he is on the shopping spree of a lifetime.
And the producers of the Nickelodeon show forgot to start the timer, so it's continued from all last game to this game. Nisqy's still throwing stuff in. He's got, I found another one here. 6-0 on the Zoe, by the way. Stopwatch in inventory. So this is probably a combination of death sentence for Meteos.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets away from this one. He is starting to walk out there. Subjugate keeping him alive, but it appears only for a moment longer. Or is the blast cone going to mean an escape? No, it will not. He can't get in there in time. Nisqy looking to find the setup here yet again with a trouble bubble, but he and the rest of Cloud9 will walk away. Score is 9-1, 14 minutes in.
I also think that Nisqy here on the Zoe plus stopwatch is probably the combination of Captain Flower's most frustrating things in the game.
Oh yeah, dude, if I was on 100 Thieves, I would have nexted this 10 minutes ago. This one's hard to play.
You need to have strong mental in these cases. 100 Thieves They've got a series on their hands here. One game's gone to Cloud9. They're significantly behind here, facing a Medjay Soul Stealer upgraded 6-kill Zoe. But you can't stop fighting. They do have a kog'maw, so they need to get that kog'maw at least one item. And then once you get one item, they can think about the second one. But first order of business, you got to get one item on Cody Sun before you got a chance to win it.
He's got an item. He's got a refillable potion and a Doran shield and a vampiric scepter and a recurve bow. That's 4 items.
What are you, a lawyer, Flowers? Trying to...
I'm just saying, there's only one slot in that inventory that's empty. Yes, 4 slots are filled with garbage, and the last one is filled with a boot, which has to be there for every champion but Cassiopeia. But I'm just saying.
Go for it.
Let's see if Cloud9 gets punished here. 100 Thieves, they're collapsing. This may be their only opportunity to make a move. Vulcan buys a little bit of time there, keeping Stunt and Cody Sun wrapped up in the ulti. Nisqy not going to find his mark there with the trouble bubble. Ryoma and 100 Thieves walk away, and nobody goes down.
True, true, true. Now, let's see how long that will remain the case. Because now it is Cloud9's turn for an offensive play. Rift-Herald will take down mid lane turret. They're not going to stop there. And Cody Sun on your minimap, you can see him still top lane. He's farming to try and get an item. So they're just going to give up the mid lane here as he does so.
Well, trading top lane outer for mid lane inhibitor turret is not a strategy that often works, but when you don't have many options, you take whatever you can get. Cloud9 are now going to back away. They don't want to overcommit themselves, and sometimes taking an inhibitor that early in League of Legends can actually not be good for you.
Sure.
Not a lot to take on the map, man. What are they going to do? We're like, yes, now we have wolf control, while your opponents get an unlimited supply of free minions to farm in the base.
So here's what they're going to do.
IQ.
Okay, I think it's an easy answer for me. Here's what they're going to do. Well, first they're going to kill Stunt, or root him at the very least. Then they're going to take the dragon. They're going to get Mountain Dragon, reset. Once they have purchased, then they can just push on bottom side of the map, take that secondary turret because, Captain Flowers, they have a... What is this? 9,000 gold
Yeah, it's
lead?
9,000 at 17 minutes. It's a bunch.
You keep pushing is basically my answer here.
Okay.
The problem with, giving up inhibitor is bad, is only bad if your opponents can defend it. If they can defend and keep you from taking more off the map, then that is a sustainable, path to comeback. But if Cloud9 remain taking down secondary turrets, there are still 2 of them outside of inhibitor turrets for Cloud9 to take, then they can just keep up that pressure. Plus, there's always the added bonus, inhibitor's not even down yet. If they want to, they can go straight towards the exposed inhibitor.
Cloud9's just got the entire game in the palm of their hands. I mean, at this point, barring them all trying to 1v5 in mid lane, one after another in a giant conga line of death, I don't see any opportunity for 100 Thieves to win this game. kog'maw's still working towards that fabled first completed item. I have to just wonder, if you're 100 Thieves, what is the plan for next game? Because the changes made this game did not work. Meteos being a champion that shuts down a tank did not shut down the tank. He's 1-0-3. Ssumday was not able to find success in the top lane. He's down 35 CS. He baited himself against Blaber and ends up getting first blooded. Ryoma cannot win the Syndra versus Zoe matchup, period. That needs to change. I feel like Syndra first priority is trapping 100 Thieves, and this is just not working in this mid lane. I don't know. There's a lot of fires going on right now, and if you're 100 Thieves, I don't know if there's enough water to put them out.
Okay, start some fires of your own is my direction.
Wait, what? If there's fires, you want to start more fires?
So, actually, this is viable where people, pre-burn. They can burn areas around a fire so that there's nothing for the fire to then spread. That's a completely different path, and we can talk about fire containment later.
Is this like trying to kill the red buff without smite at level 1 so you die and your opponent can't kill you? I'm trying to understand where the analogy is going here.
Here's my strategy, Captain Flowers.
Okay.
Draft Olaf for Meteos, draft actual aggressive lanes. Like 100 Thieves used Lucian top lane for Ssumday. They committed hard to it. They hard split push. You need something where you don't have to wait and scale up. You know, we mentioned, trundle into Ornn. That sounds cool because you can shred him later on in the game. But that later on in the game value is not something that you're going to get to. So I think you draft some super aggressive lanes. You put Meteos on the Olaf, Rek'Sai, something like that. Those are two of his champions that he has used very successfully in the past that have a lot of early agency. And try and attack it that way, because the game plan here for number 1 and game number 2 has not panned out.
Yeah, I'm really worried about just the state of mind for 100th. Like, you talk about a series requiring mental fortitude. You talk about players needing to be able to adapt and make sure that they can reset after each game. We saw the play from Ssumday that we couldn't describe as anything other than a tilt play at the beginning of this game. And we've seen 100 Thieves just continually be collapsed on and be outplayed as a team over and over and over again. And I want to see if this roster can change things up, because right now it just seems so incredibly doomed at this point. Cloud9 being the strongest team in the regular split, you expected this to happen no matter who they played against. I think, honestly, if you don't have Cloud9 as a hard favorite in any matchup going into playoffs based on statistics and logic, you're hard trolling. And Licorice is now going to be dove here. 3v1. They will take him down. Cody Sun on the board got himself a kill now. But at the cost of the top lane tier 2 going down. At the cost of these lanes continuing to be pressured. It's tier 3 under fire in the top lane. Yes, they grabbed the kill on the enemy top laner, but this is a lot to trade.
Yeah. Can we say no deal? There's no option for no deal here.
I don't think there is an option for no deal. They're just going to take the whole damn briefcase and the inhibitor along with it. 100 Thieves, once again on the retreat. The Cloud9 4-man squad does not care that they don't have their top laner or that he doesn't have TP even once he respawns. Vulcan looks to make a play with the Tempered Fate. No, he won't find it, but they will get 2 inhibitors that 100 Thieves are unable to defend.
And this is 2 inhibitors before 20 minutes into the game. They couldn't even go do Baron right now if they wanted to after the reset. Cloud9 have to wait around for another 30 seconds after they reset and head back out to the Baron. Hashtag item for Cody has worked out, though. He's got his single item.
You're trying to start a Twitter trend to buy kog'maw. Are you going to start a GoFundMe for kog'maw's Rage Blade?
That's the strategy, actually, for game number 3 for 100 Thieves. They need to start the GoFundMe early so that they can have the items upon arrival. But anyways, Cody Sun was pushing that bottom tower during the Cloud9 incursion into their base that resulted in 2 inhibitors being destroyed. That is, again, their lone hope, though, right? They've got this kog'maw. They need him to be able to output some form of DPS to have any hopes. Other than that, Ryoma has been CSing well on the Syndra and is going to have to try and set him up with some stuns. But Cloud9, there's no reason to pull their foot off the gas pedal here. Baron has finally arrived, so maybe they will transition over to the Baron after they take the secondary turret.
If they even
or
need
maybe
it.
They'll just finish up the game, you know? 2 inhibitors with mid and top down means 2 lines of super minions streaming into the base.
And the ability to prevent those minions from dealing a lot of damage is severely limited when you only have a Luden's Echo on your mid lane, or when you only have a Blade of the Ruined King on your AD carry. It is going to take a while to just get rid of all those massive minions coming into the base. And C9 will move towards that Baron exactly as you expect.
Yep, you know, it's a death sentence even walking through this jungle. Nisqy's on patrol. 6 kill Zoe here, looking for anybody who's going to poke their heads out. And the Baron will be picked up for C9, so they should be able to march ahead. And we can go back to talking about, you know, where's the area of attack going to be for 100 Thieves in this series? Because, like you're saying, everyone kind of expects Cloud9 to be this dominant, to destroy the same LCS teams that they've been destroying for the entire season. So I don't think 100 Thieves should get too down on themselves and still need to keep their mentality kind of above water.
Cloud9, all they need to do is put the final nails in the coffin here. I would say nearly 12,000 gold plus a Baron buff should be enough to do it at 22 minutes into the game. They're pushing up as a 5-man unit towards this remaining tier 3 turret. With the next Baron wave arriving now, they should have the opportunity to continue the auto attacks. Tempered Fate comes out. Cody Sun going to be caught up in that one. Redemption coming down now here as well, and the turret is gone. Remaining inhibitor is the next target, and there comes your Aphelios ulti. There comes the follow-up CC plus the damage. Blaber on the front line having to drop down the Lamb's Respite. He'll stay alive through that one, and 100 Thieves are going to be baited into taking the fight. It's a 1-for-1 so far. That's the best the Thieves have gotten so far in this game, but they're all so low they have to go back to the fountain and try to recover. In the meantime, the Nexus turrets are being deleted. The first is down, the second is down, and Meteos and Cody Sun are taking a hell of a lot of damage. 100 Thieves will be mopped up here at the very end just to pad the Cloud9 stats a little bit harder. A double kill for Licorice and a second win in this series for Cloud9, even more convincing than the first.
Yeah, if you're not convinced that Cloud9 should be the #1 team in the LCS by now, then
if you're not convinced now,
there's no talking to you.
Yeah, there's nothing to really be said if you're not convinced at this point. This team is putting on one hell of a show here so far, and there are so many things that have to be fixed for 100 Thieves. I'm going to start off by saying, if I see Syndra traded for Aphelios in the first part of the draft again, I'm going to consider that an int draft. It's not working. It has not come close to working. Nisqy has shown that if you pick the Syndra and allow him to play the Zoe, he will stop it. And Zven on Aphelios, on this champion that is just so powerful right now in the game, is showing that there's not really an answer to him either. That's got to change. I'm smacking my hand on the table and I'm saying this has to be different.
Fair enough. I agree. If we want this series to continue, then it's going to have to change courses. But, again, that is a very difficult task for any of the teams in the LCS, trying to deter Cloud9, trying to change that course.
Well, we're going to take a break here now. That's enough from us here after that very, very powerful second game performance from Cloud9. Once we're back, Dash and the analyst will look at Cloud9's shellacking of a